You can remember the exact wording of an insult someone threw at you 7 years ago. The compliment you received this morning is already fading. You'll understand the precise neurological reason. Your brain is built to be a fortress for insults and a sieve for praise by the end of this. This ancient survival mechanism is quietly shaping your self-worth, turning past hurts into your current reality. Think about your last performance review. You get 9 positive comments about your efficiency, your creativity, your teamwork, and 1 piece of constructive criticism about being late with reports. Which one do you think about for the next 3 days? Which one loops in your head as you try to fall asleep? The criticism, always. This experience is universal. Psychologists call it the negativity bias. Your brain is structured to react to bad news with more intensity, process it more thoroughly, and store it more permanently than any good news. It's like Velcro for negative experiences and Teflon for positive ones. This is the baseline setting for every human brain. But this simple observation is just the surface of a deep, powerful, and often invisible system. A system that evolved for a world that has long since vanished. The root of this imbalance is buried deep inside your brain, in a small almond-shaped cluster of neurons called the amygdala. Your amygdala is the brain's threat detection system. It's the emergency hotline. When you encounter a physical threat, like a car swerving into your lane, the amygdala fires instantly. It floods your system with chemicals to prepare you to fight or flee. An insult is processed by the same hardware. To your ancient brain, a social threat, rejection, criticism, exclusion is a survival threat. Being cast out of the tribe once meant certain death. Your amygdala still operates on that premise. So when a coworker questions your competence in a meeting, that social sting gets flagged as high priority life or death information. It gets an emergency tag. The memory is encoded with emotional intensity, making it vivid and easy to recall. A compliment, on the other hand, is just data. It's pleasant, but it carries no urgent survival information. It's a memo on your desk, while the insult is a fire alarm going off in the building. Your brain dedicates far more resources to processing and storing the fire alarm. The hardware is fundamentally biased. But why would our brains be built this way? The answer lies in the brutal math of evolution. For our hunter-gatherer ancestors, the cost of a single mistake was enormous. If you ate a poisonous berry once, you had to remember which plant it came from forever. If you ignored the rustle in the bushes that turned out to be a predator, you didn't get a second chance. Missing a threat was fatal. Forgetting where you found some delicious fruit was an inconvenience. This led to the development of something called one-trial learning. You only need to touch a hot stove once. The pain, the shock, the smell of burning skin, it's all encoded instantly and permanently. That memory is designed to last a lifetime to prevent you from making the same mistake again. Social pain hijacks this exact system. The sting of rejection or humiliation is treated like touching a hot stove. The brain's logic is simple. Avoid this social situation, this person, this type of vulnerability in the future to ensure the survival of the social self. Critics might suggest this is a sign of being overly sensitive. The brain's wiring shows it's a survival instinct misfiring. In a modern world, the world changed, but the software hasn't been updated. This ancient programming does more than just affect your memory. It actively changes what you see and hear before you're even consciously aware of it. Neuroscientists can measure this using event-related potentials, which are tiny electrical responses in the brain. They show subjects a series of images: a happy face, a neutral object, an angry face. The brain's electrical activity shows a dramatically larger and faster spike in response to the angry face. This spike, a surge of attention, happens within 300 milliseconds. That's faster than the blink of an eye. Your brain has already identified, prioritized, and emotionally reacted to the negative stimulus before your conscious mind has even had time to fully process what it's looking at. Your reality is being filtered for threats at a pre-conscious level. You are living in a world that has been neurologically tilted toward the negative. You don't just remember the bad more. You perceive it first, you perceive it faster, and you perceive it with more intensity. It's an upstream problem that starts the moment sensory information enters your brain. This explains the sharp, immediate sting of an insult, but it doesn't quite explain why the warm glow of a compliment fades so quickly. For that, we have to look at the chemicals involved. An insult, being a perceived threat, can trigger a cascade of stress hormones like cortisol. Cortisol is designed for long-term mobilization. It keeps you alert and focused on the source of the stress. And crucially, cortisol works directly on the hippocampus and amygdala to strengthen the consolidation of memories. It chemically brands the negative experience into your brain tissue. A compliment gives you a small, pleasant hit of dopamine. But dopamine is a strange chemical. It's less about the feeling of reward itself and more about the motivation to seek rewards. A compliment is a reward that has already been delivered. The system's job is done. There's no motivational drive, so the feeling is fleeting. It's a sugar rush, a momentary pleasure that the brain has little reason to hold on to. The insult triggers cortisol, which is like carving the memory into stone. The compliment provides a flicker of dopamine, which is like writing on a whiteboard with a dry erase marker. It's there for a moment, and then it's gone, wiped away by the next thought. So the evolutionary wiring, the brain's hardware, and the chemical responses are all stacked against you. It seems like a closed system, but there's a loophole. It's based on a fundamental truth about how memory works. Memory is an active process. It is an act of recreation. Each time you recall a memory, you are not just playing back a recording. You are rebuilding the memory from scratch, and in that moment of rebuilding, you are re-saving it. This is why memories can change over time. It's also the key to making positive experiences stick. The brain automatically rehearses and ruminates on insults because it's trying to solve a perceived threat. It replays the event, strengthening the neural pathways each time. The insult gets stronger with every recall. To give a compliment the same neurological weight, you have to do that work manually. You have to consciously install the memory. When someone gives you a genuine compliment, don't just let it slide past. Pause. For 10 or 15 seconds, actively engage with it. Think about the specific words they used. Think about the person who said it, their sincerity, their tone of voice. Picture the moment it happened. More importantly, connect it to something real about yourself. If someone praises your presentation, don't just think, thanks. Replay a specific moment from the presentation you were proud of. You are manually linking the external praise to your internal sense of self. You are giving your brain evidence. You are forcing it to catalog the positive data with the same focus it automatically gives to the negative. You are telling your hippocampus, this is important, this is worth saving. This is a high priority file. Each time you do this, you are rehearsing the positive memory. You are deepening the groove. You are carving it into the stone yourself. Your brain is not trying to make you unhappy. It's trying to keep you safe, using a manual written for a very different world. That world was full of physical predators. Our world is full of social and psychological ones. The insults stick because your brain registers them as threats. But the compliments only stick when you decide they are instructions. Instructions on who you are and what you're capable of. The ballot box for your self-worth is open every day. The negative votes get counted automatically. The positive ones, you have to cast yourself